Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hopefully you're having a wonderful weekend. We've got roster news and just news about Rocket League from all over the scene in general today. A lot of fun things to discuss, some sad and some exciting. So with that said, let's get into it. How's it going, everybody? Lawler here. Going to be talking about general Rocket League news today. Some roster stuff as otherwise. Before we get into that, as always, make sure you guys hit like, subscribe, comment, all that kind of stuff down below if you enjoy the content. But the first one we're going to be talking about is actually the APAC champions, Tokyo Verde Esports, one of the most prolific names in that region and the best when it comes to success. Obviously, not the greatest results when it came to the fall split major, but still trending in a good direction. Is unfortunately going to have to start over. Maru, one of their star players, did put out a tweet and translated, obviously not perfectly, but it does state that RLCS is going to be starting tomorrow, but I can't practice at all because I'm busy with work. So I won't be able to participate in the winter split. And this comes to a pretty unfortunate reason. Even though Tokyo Verde is sponsoring this team, it doesn't seem like they have enough funding to do it to earn a living. Even though this is supposedly the best team in that region, which is really unfortunate to say. Talking with Real Eyes about this roster, he is obviously their star player, their most prolific from the region, but he's also coaching his two teammates, Tenhao and Maru. So he's going to have to do that all over again and try to build up another player. So it does provide some concern for them moving forward with regionals, and to do it, even though this announcement is coming like the day before it happens, hopefully they've already found and have been practicing and scrimming with another player, and this wasn't done last minute. He says, I was disappointed with the result of the fall major, but it was the most important thing to participate in that major, so I'm glad I was able to achieve that. Thank you for all the people who supported fall split and my teammates. So unfortunate for Maru that work obviously having to be a priority so he can pay his bills, etc. But for Tokyo Verde, they're going to have to find a new third. Pretty crazy stuff here from the team that came and represented at APAC at the fall split major. Up next, longtime veteran who we have yet to hear from for quite a while, Victor, also known as Ferra, as you guys may know him, put out a tweet longer saying, so long and thanks for all the fish. It says, as many as you know or may have guessed, I will no longer be playing Rocket League competitively. That sentence provides hopefully some hope for us, because even though he is not playing, maybe he'll like coach or still stick around the scene. He does talk about how it's difficult for him to relate to the younger crowd as he is one of the older pros. And there was a lot of conversation about how he was the worst on the field every single time that he played. And that mentality after a certain point was just like, this isn't fun anymore. I'm not enjoying even playing ranked and all these types of things. As a 4+ year veteran in the RLCS, had some pretty solid results in his career based upon all the teams that he played on. Unfortunately, his career got started as Cloud Fuel saw the name and thought he was female, but Ferra is definitely a guy, but came in Red Penguin, Supernova, and a bunch of other teams. But eventually, the name really came into play for Ferra with the leftovers, and ended up obviously hitting that goal against Greasy. If you don't know what I'm talking about, pay attention to this clip.
Vuelve a sacar Ferra, defendiéndose con uñas y dientes. El equipo de Leftovers, balón para adentro, otra vez el rebote. Vamos a ver si se lo puede llevar alguien. ¡No!
¡Ay, ay! ¡Qué cantada! ¡Qué cantada! ¡Haciendo el fake! ¡Haciendo el fake! ¡Ferra! 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 ¡Eso es un fake! ¡Eso es un fake! Como los perfiles de Twitter estos, con imágenes de Google. ¡Vaya pedazo de fake! ¡Y Ferra se lo lleva! ¡Saca!
Ever since then, Ferra has obviously been one of my favorite French pros. Not because of specific reasons other than just him as a person. For those that don't know, Ferra is a pretty quiet guy, but he's also very professional. And when he's frustrated, he will express frustration. Hence, some of the replies in the tweet to his retirement. Talking about who else is going to complain in Discord with me, etc. But Ferra was the first pro that proactively tried to talk to non-French players at LANs and stuff. Usually all the French guys stick together because they're super self-conscious about their English, and they've always been fine. It's just something that obviously they're just not comfortable with. But Ferra proactively all the time came over and hung out with us as casters. It helps that we are a lot older, but he would ask us questions about stuff that wasn't Rocket League and just life and everything else. And as I put in my tweet and replied to him, I'll always cherish that stuff. Ferra is one of my favorite people in the scene, and it sucks to see him retire. I do hope that this isn't the end of him in the Rocket League scene, and he does find other places. He's got a wonderful brain for the game and a really smart dude, and I could definitely see him as a coach and stuff, but he says he doesn't know what's next. He'll figure it out eventually, but he's going to take some time to do what he wants. He took a long break during the summer before the announcement and stuff, so Fingers crossed for Ferra. Love the guy and hope things move forward and he stays relevant in the scene in some capacity. Over in South America, we're bouncing around to a bunch of different regions today. There is the team Era that qualified and had a showing at the major, but even though they were at the major, they didn't think it was good enough for the results, so they ended up changing their roster. Obviously, we saw in previous announcements how they've changed up before, and they now have officially announced their new player, KV1, also known as KV1 Supremacy, a young 15-year-old with a lot of talent that will hopefully provide that young mechanical power that a lot of people are looking for nowadays. They did do some scrims at one point against the other top team in South America that was able to be seen live, and it went pretty well, but officially, KV1, the new player for Era. Will that be the difference with Astramic and Snip? We'll have to wait and see. Should be exciting stuff, though, as their stuff is coming right around the corner as well. Probably happening when this video comes out, honestly. Up next, there's been a lot of talk about female leagues and how a certain person is esports, but something that is always exciting is, other than the Women's Carball Association, Radiant GG, which is kind of like a separate division, I'm pretty sure, of Dignitas. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, is going to be starting a $15,000 women's tournament in collab with Psyonix and Rocket League Esports. It'll be going down from February 26th to the 22nd, and it is on their pages if you'd like to sign up or co-stream it or any of that kind of stuff. All those details can be found. They do state in a separate tweet that 15 of the 16 teams are now signed up. Their partner WCBC, in partnership with this, is confirming the teams in the coming days based upon signups and stuff like that. So awesome to see that there is growth and development outside of just the RLCS. This is what people have been asking for. Bubble scene doesn't just mean the amateur teams on the bubble. It means the entire ecosystem as a whole. So pretty awesome to see the growth happening in the community and people stepping up and making their mark. Last but certainly not least, something that got teased a really long time ago. We were just waiting for the post. Eventually, it does happen right before the day of it needing to happen. For those that don't know, the former SK Gaming team with Tox, Ixo, and Yukio is no more. Yukio has obviously gone over to Heroic, and they brought in Atomic. This team became TEA, Tox, Ixo, Atomic, and we were waiting. When is this finally going to get announced? Obviously, Shift leaked it a long time ago. Luminosity, who has been looking to get into the scene for an extremely long time, has officially done so. They put out a tweet 4 hours ago as of my recording on the 20th, but it says, Luminosity enters Rocket League. Please join us in welcoming Atomic, Ixo, and Tox, and team coach Snasky. So SK 2.0 is basically what we're looking at, and they managed to do with Luminosity. The results have already been pretty solid with the 3-0 qualifier. It is now Saturday when you guys are watching this video, so Friday we should have seen how they've done in groups. Maybe it's good, bad. Let me know in the comments down below, as I'm doing this in the past for the future because we're trying to get ahead. But 2022 acquisition for Luminosity. Maybe they can make some waves here. SK Gaming obviously was close at times, but definitely needed something a little bit extra, and that seems to be Atomic. So fingers crossed for this result. They say with the acquisition of these insane Rocket League athletes, we're excited to make our return to Europe. I don't understand the return to Europe part because they've never been in EU RLCS before, so we'll see how this one plays out. Nice and quick here for your Rocket League news today. Again, it's Saturday, so you guys are watching the regionals and stuff as we speak. A lot of exciting stuff. If you guys want to come watch, I think Corelli and I have been doing watch parties, twitch.tv/Lawler. We're watching the matches, hanging out, chirping, and having a good time. So if you guys want to come join us, we'll be doing that this weekend. A lot of exciting matches for the first regional that are going down. We'll do a recap on that, obviously, for Monday, with tomorrow being Q&A. So with that said, if you guys want to make sure you don't miss out on that content, thumbs up, subscribe, notifications, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.